I'm going to tell you about two fantasy books that take place in the future today. The first book is this one called Cleo Porter and the Body Electric by Jake Burt. In this book, you meet the main character, Cleo, and she is living in the year 2096, so about 70 years in the future. And the entire world has been ravaged by a disease called influenza D in a pandemic, much like we're in today. And the world is totally different because everyone lives in their own apartments. And I'm going to read a really quick summary of the book for you right now. It says, like everyone else, 12-year-old Cleo and her parents are sealed in an apartment without windows or doors. They never leave. They never get visitors. Their food is dropped off by drones, so they're safe. Safe from disease that nearly wiped humans off the earth. Safe from everything. The trade-off? They're alone. Thus, when they receive a package clearly meant for someone else, a package containing a substance critical for a stranger's survival, Cleo is stuck. As a surgeon in training, she knows the clock is ticking, but people don't leave their units. Not ever. Until now. Accompanied by two most unlikely and inhuman companions, Cleo dares the impossible, and when she does, she finds a world unlike anything she could have imagined, a world from which she would never return. In Cleo's world, now everyone lives in a huge, basically apartment complex, and they never see people, and the only time they interact with people is when they go into virtual simulators. And so when this package arrives for Cleo, she knows that it's life-saving and she has to get it to the person who needs it. So that's Cleo Porter and the Body Electric. This story is called Maya and the Rising Dark, and it's by Rena Barron. In this story, we meet 12-year-old Maya, who has always been told these fantastical stories by her dad about were-hyenas and these monsters that enchant you with the sound of their bells and then are going to eat you and things like this. And Maya just thinks that they're stories. One day she's in class and all the color drains from the world around her, and she's the only one who really realizes it. And then it snaps back. And this happens 2 times, and some other strange things start to happen. Well, we find out that her dad the stories that he tells are true because he is someone known as the Keeper of the Veil, and his name is Elegua, and he is a god who has existed for thousands of years, and he is tasked with keeping the veil between our dimension on Earth separated from a dimension known as the Dark. In the Dark, there is an evil lord called the Lord of Shadows who wants to destroy Earth and everyone who lives on it. And Elegua is his arch enemy. One day, Maya's father, Elegua, disappears, and the Lord of Shadows has taken him. And it's up to Maya to rescue him. But at this point, she really doesn't know if she has any powers or anything that she can do to save him. The only thing that she has is this kind of staff that she's learned to fight with, that her dad's taught her how to fight with. But we soon find out that her 2 friends, Frankie and Eli, are godlings, which are people who are part God and part human. And all the people in her neighborhood are godlings, are gods as well. And so this story is filled with adventure, and we find Maya and her friends trying to rescue her dad, Elegua, from the Lord of Shadows. There's lots of fighting, there's lots of action, there's lots of adventure, and it's a really good story about the fight between good and evil.